Hello, welcome to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all of the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. Here on the channel you'll most often find me chatting about my adventures in knitting, spinning, crochet, sometimes weaving, not very often, all of the fibre arts really. I do of course scatter in a few other videos as well, mostly about journaling and reading, but in the main you'll find me chatting about all of the fibre goodness, all of the woolly goodness. Today I thought I'd share with you the last two projects that I finished in 2020. As I haven't been recording my normal sort of weekly chit chat format, I haven't yet shared these projects. I thought I'd hop on and chat to you about those projects today. I'm sure at some point soon I'll get back to my weekly format, but for now I've got a few more videos that I want to pop up before I get to that. So yeah, I thought I'd just do a short video chatting about the two projects that I finished before the end of December. If you watched any of my Vlogmas-ish content, you might remember a video that I recorded talking about a couple of projects that I wanted to work on and a couple of projects that I wanted to finish before the end of the year. And I'm happy to say that I think I met all of the goals in that video. The two projects that I have to share with you were the two that I wanted to finish, and the third project, I think my third aim was to work every day on my Aqua Miri cardigan, and I have done that, and I'm happy to say I have actually cast that project off, but I needed to sew on the buttons and just block the collar and button band, or at least the sort of seam, the pickup seam, before I'm ready to call that a definite finished object and show that off to you. So yeah, yay me. Managed to cast on my 12 cast-ons and finish a couple of things. What more can you ask? Finished projects. I've got one crochet project to share with you and one knitted project. The crochet project is a cushion cover, and the actual crochet element, if I'm going to be honest, was finished months and months ago. But I was sitting on the fence, I was dithering about this because the original pattern, which is just called the Cushion Cowl, it's a pattern by the lovely designer Anna Nikki Pirowitz. The original pattern has you sew a cushion cover, and I was dithering about whether I was going to sew a cover or I was going to just crochet a back to this. In the end I decided to sew because a lovely friend of mine gave me some perfect fabric. On the day that I recorded the video saying I wanted to finish this project, I actually sat down that afternoon, got my machine out and whipped up this project. Is it the best finishing I'll ever do? Not by a country mile, but the object for this one really was to get something finished rather than perfect. So here is my finished object. Oops. It's pretty tricky to show you. So the crochet element of this was all done in Rowan felted tweed. I used 3 colours, and then a lovely friend of mine gifted me this green upholstery fabric. It's sort of a thicker cotton. Now the reason I say this is not the best finishing that I'll ever do is because I've actually got quite a gap up the top here between the sort of zip and the top of the cushion. What I did was I stitched the cushion down onto the fabric, and then I popped in the zip, and I've never really done that before, and I was a little bit worried about the placement of my zip, and in the end I could have put the zip in a slightly different angle to kind of cover up that slightly sort of not neat edge. However, this is the zip edge of my cushion, so I'm thinking once I actually get a cushion pad for this, that's going to probably mostly be sat on the bottom of this cushion, so it's not really going to be seen. So it's definitely good enough. So yeah, really happy to have that finished, and yeah, I just need to do a proper measure of the size that this is turned out, and order a cushion pad so that I can actually throw that one on the sofa, or maybe I'll have it on the chair up here in the craft room. Haven't decided yet. Given the amount of time that that spent hanging around versus the amount of time that it actually took me to finish it, it was probably less than an hour, including cutting out the fabric and inserting the zip. I really should have got on and finished that a long time ago, but hey, it's done now. It's done now. The second project that I wanted to finish and did indeed finish, and actually I finished this on New Year's Eve, or finished these I should say, were my sleepover socks, a lovely pattern by my dear friend Caroline of the Colourful Creativity podcast. And here is one of the socks. It's looking a bit battered and baggy because I have worn this and I haven't washed it yet. And I've worn these quite a few times because I was interested in seeing how this yarn would wear. So here is the lovely pattern of the sock. As I say, I'm not showing these off to their best advantage because I was eager just to throw these on and wear them. I knit these from a nettle based sock yarn from the yarn company Onion, and yeah, I was just really interested to see how this would wear as a sock yarn. It's sort of branded as a no nylon sock yarn, so I have put these through the wars a little bit. They are looking a little bit dirty on the bottom, and I haven't washed these rather than save them to show off when they're pristine condition. As I say, I've just worn them a few times, and yeah, I'm not convinced yet about this yarn. I think it's going to take a lot more wear for me to make a final decision. They're quite dirty on the bottom because I'm quite harsh on my socks. You know, I wander around sometimes outside with just my socked feet, no other things on my feet. I often wander around the house. We've got a mixture of carpet, tiles and wood floors in the house, so they get walked on all sorts of surfaces. I wear them in my walking boots and I walk a fair amount. So yeah, they just get put through the mill really. And these, for the fact that they've only been worn a couple of times, these are showing sort of quite some signs of wear and fuzzing. I think you can see on the front here there's like a bit of a rub here where obviously my toes have been or maybe the inside of my shoe has been rubbing up, and I guess that's the nettle fibre that's starting to fuzz through. And on the bottom you can see, hopefully, there's quite a bit of sort of pilling and fuzzing already. You can see certainly down the side there, as well as the dirtiness. There's quite a lot of wear, and as I say, I've worn these maybe 2, 3, 4 times, so not that many. And they have been washed in between wearing. These have just come straight off my feet recently, which is why they're in a slightly sorry state. So yeah, the jewellery is out. The pattern, the sleepover pattern, is absolutely beautiful, and it was one of those very kind of potato chippy, as people call it, patterns. It was a very easily memorizable pattern repeat, and I guess in the same way as sometimes a self-striping is just a one more row, and this was a one more pattern. They did languish for a little while, but that was just down to me prioritising other projects, not my enjoyment of the knit, because as I say, the pattern's just lovely, and once I got back to concentrating on these, they just flew off of the needles. So yeah, sleepover socks done. Jewellery is out on my thoughts about the Onion yarn, whether it's for me or not. But I will keep wearing them. I'm not going to treat them as more precious than any of my other socks, and I'll report back in a couple of months time, I think, to let you know whether these have held up. It could be, like, I have worked with yarns before that fuzz up quite quickly, but then you can sort of depill them and they last forever and a day. So this could be that sort of yarn, or it could be a yarn that is just not suitable for the way that I wear my knitted socks. Obviously not everyone is as harsh on their socks as me. Some people save their knitted socks as kind of house socks, bed socks, but yeah, I wear mine all of the time. Yes, sleepover socks, cushion were my final 2 finished objects of 2020. It was really nice to get those off of the needles in amongst all of the new projects that I was casting on. It was nice to have a little bit of progress on some of the things that were already on my needles. That is everything that I have for you today. Tell me in the comments below, what was your last cast off of 2020? What was the final thing that you finished in 2020? I'd love to know. I'll be back again soon, I'm sure, with more making content. I hope that you will join me for the next video, but until we get to spend time together again, I hope you get to do some of the things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now.